We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi everyone, Alyssa Esperez here with Compassion Canada. I'm here at the Oshawa stop of the Hillsong Young and Free Canada tour. I had a chance to sit down with a couple of the band members before the show to talk about Compassion, what life is like on the road, how this album felt different to them. I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us. For those who might not know you, just introduce yourselves.
Yes, my name is Alex Pappas.
I'm Melody Wagner.
Perfect. So we're going to start with some would you rather / rapid fire get to know you questions, but we're hoping that you can try and do it in a Canadian accent because we're trying to redeem the Canadian accent. Hillsong is known
All right.
for the great Australian accents,
Yes.
but we're going to try this.
All right.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Cool. Would you rather coffee or tea?
Coffee for sure.
Coffee.
This is American.
That
Yeah,
was
good try.
great, though.
I don't want to offend anyone.
Would you rather hang out in a big group or a one-on-one hangout?
Ooh.
Oh, how big's the group?
Probably like let's go for like 5 to 8 people.
Okay, big group.
Big group.
Yeah.
I'm just coffee.
Window seat or aisle seat on an airplane?
Window.
Window.
Good choice.
You want to lean, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet or salty snacks?
Salty.
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 You
Cool.
copying everything I say.
Big city or small town?
Small town.
Big city.
There's an opposite one.
There.
There.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Okay, if you could travel in time, would you rather travel backwards or forwards?
Backwards.
Oh, that's scary. Both are scary. Let's go forwards.
Forwards.
Yeah.
What era would you go backwards?
Oh, like maybe 1940s or something. Time before cell phones and all that stuff, just to experience that. People look nicer as well. Better hair, like slick hair, good clothes.
Yep.
We're so sloppy now.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look, I'm in a hood.
And
Wait, where
okay,
did you want to
last,
go?
Like to the future.
Oh, but where? Oh, yeah. Which era?
We haven't been there yet. We haven't. When I go, I'll let you know.
Okay, last one. Would you rather say everything that comes to your brain or never speak again?
Never speak again.
Never speak again.
And if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, which one is it?
Mexican food.
Okay, that counts. We'll
Okay.
allow it.
I put a whole genre, but
I would say noodles.
Okay, yeah.
like Asian or pasta?
Both.
Okay. Cheater. It's even broader than
I
Mexican.
know, it's true. It's true. Favorite social media app?
Instagram.
Yeah, that's a consensus. And this one might be a hard one. Current favorite Young and Free song?
I love a song called Days Gone By.
I was gonna say that one.
I see you in the days gone by.
Pick another one.
Hindsight. I like the vibe. It's really easy to like jump around to, and I like the message as well. And Papa's very good.
This album especially was kind of a little bit of coming of age, you know, like both those songs came out of a place of like, despite what you're going through, we know from like looking at the past and what's like, what is ahead, that God's faithful. We can claim the testimonies of the past, stories in the Bible of God being good, and we can use that like in our, to encourage us and our faith going forward.
Cool, so I want to talk about the album.
Okay.
You kind of touched on it a little bit already, but it's your first studio album, is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. And so what else felt different about this album for you guys?
Yeah, I think when we started writing it, we went in with the intention of it being a studio album. And I guess with that comes, new challenges and ways of doing things. And I guess it actually gave us an opportunity to translate it in a different way. And I think almost all the songs are quite personal in nature. And then we've seen, amazingly enough, that people have really responded to that vulnerability in the songs, and people have really resonated with that. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about what Mel was just saying as well is, like, you'd be surprised that even a lot of, like, the really happy praise songs and that really came out of, like, deep relationship and, like, serious times with God. Even the song Love Won't Let Me Down, I wrote it when I was actually, like, really, really disappointed with a lot of things. And I met up with a friend of mine, his name's Michael Fatkin, and we were gonna write, and I was just like, I literally said, I am so let down by, like, everything, like, and God included, feeling that way. And we're like, oh, let's write that song. And I go in and I keep playing, like, really emotive, like, piano chords, like trying to write this, like, sad, dark worship song. And he keeps, like, he's a producer, and he keeps making these, like, upbeat things. I'm like, what are you doing? But slowly, like, that song sort of developed into this, like, upbeat praise song. And it kind of just clicked for me that I was like, I actually need to be, like, proclaiming a truth that maybe right now, like, I don't believe, but I'm gonna sing it until I do. And believing that, a song like that, whether you're in the best of times or the worst of times, it's a truth that you can declare and get into your spirit. And so I think the whole album is really like a lot of songs like that out of real personal triumphs or trials. And it's really special for us.
Come on, sing it with me.
Talk to me about, like, what is that like? You're famous for worshiping Jesus. That can be a little bit of a weird thing sometimes. So talk to me about that. Like, how do you stay grounded in the midst of millions of people singing these songs?
Well, I think for all of us, it's still crazy. Like, we've been doing this for 6-7 years or something like that. And, like, I'll have moments when I'm just sitting in our church on a Sunday and we're singing a song that we maybe were a part of writing, and it's still just like, wow. Like, I can't believe that like people even like the songs, Like, it's still such a, like, exciting and overwhelming feeling. And I think probably the biggest thing of how, we, like, have maintained our attitude and our spirit is we're a part of a church. We're planted in the body of Christ, and we're a part of a community that challenges us, encourages us, and speaks life into us. And obviously, we would encourage anyone to make sure they're in a church that does something like that.
Yeah.
But our cause and our purpose is to lift up the name of Jesus. And going around the world and getting to sing these songs, like, with people is just the most unbelievable privilege and honor we could ever ask for. And I think it would really start to crumble when we started getting big heads and feeling like we were all that.
Yeah. And we're definitely surrounded by the types of people who just remind you of where you've come from and, like, the realities of life and, what we're all about. And, they'll be the first to remind you of your humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And talk to me a little bit, like, how do you think social media affects this? Like, social media has, like, some really good things that come out of it, and then also some not so great things. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that there's a tool that we have in our hands to be able to reach people we may never meet face to face. And I think it's probably easy to forget that it's a tool, and sometimes it can look like a weapon when it comes to, cyberbullying and negative comments and all that kind of thing. But I find for us that just reminding ourselves that we have influence over X amount of people, and that it's our responsibility to use that influence to glorify God and show people what it's like to live a life for Jesus, and kind of reach people who may never step inside a church or meet a Christian community.
It also shows that we're normal people as well, and we make mistakes and all this stuff. And some days I'm like, I feel like I should be posting more Bible verses or something like that, but I'm actually posting that I got pooped on by a pigeon walking to the local grocery store near my apartment. I don't know, it's funny like that, but I think it can also like be amazing to expose like we're all normal people. We go through the same things that everybody watching this is going through, and I don't know, but it's amazing that we can also have influence and share, more intimately and honestly what God's doing in and through us.
Okay, I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk very quickly. I think people are often curious about like what is life like on the road, being on a bus with a bunch of the same people for a long amount of time. What's that like?
I feel like we are a huge family, and so, you know, families have their ups and downs and all these different dynamics.
It can be a battleground, but at the end of the day, we still love each other. 7 years on, so.
Who said love is a battleground or battlefield?
Does love always feel like a battlefield? I don't know.
Yeah, because you guys have kind of grown up together as a band, and like talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, like you're engaged, I'm married. Ben had his first child. He's our MD last year. Like,
when this whole thing started for us, we were like every one of us except for maybe you might have still been in high school. But we were all just finishing high school. Like we were youth leaders, creative, like worship leaders, and I was playing bass on Friday nights at youth. And you know, we actually are very blessed that our church has bands and groups and people that have gone before us, and we are a part of one community that they were able to give us some pointers and help us out a little bit. But like we've also just had to like grow up in a lot of things, and like what has been cool is like I was saying before, like we've all gone through like different seasons of like a lot of, like I said, triumphs and trials, and but we've got to learn and grow together and encourage one another in like those like deepest of valley times, and that sort of stuff has really, I think, made us grow up together in such words.
So I want to talk about the Philippines, and you guys have this great partnership with Compassion.
Yeah.
And you, Alex, had the opportunity to travel to the Philippines and see Compassion's work firsthand.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, what stood out to you from that trip, from seeing Compassion's work in the field?
It was, I mean, anytime you go to a place like that, like a nation like the Philippines is so densely populated, so just driving down the road, you're exposed to like pretty like unbelievable things. Like it was honestly overwhelming. Like little kids who, obviously I don't know their story. I don't know what their family situation looks like, but they get food, they get to go to school, they get an education and all this stuff. And then, you know, we got to sing for them as well and just had, you know, the best time. And it was also quite overwhelming to leave immediately and see the kids that aren't in there yet. And obviously inspires us to continue the work that we're doing in partnering with you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that we get to partner with Compassion, and every single worship night we give people an opportunity to sponsor a child. And the whole message of Young and Free is that it's not actually just about us, and giving people an opportunity to actually go beyond themselves and to look at the need and say, hey, I can actually play my part and be a part of the solution, I think brings something really powerful. And it's that whole love in action and faith with deeds that is so powerful. And I've seen, like, you know, people come in and, you know, they're kind of just wide-eyed looking around like, what is this amazing message and this music that is inspiring me, and then giving them an opportunity again to do something, to be a part of it with us, I think takes it to a whole nother level. And it's amazing. Like, I'm overwhelmed every time that I get to be the one to invite people to come on this journey of generosity and living beyond themselves. And I'm excited for what's to come as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we value that partnership so much, and we're so thankful for you guys. And so that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us and chat. And
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
For